What's up, YouTube? This is Scott with Freakin' Fishing. Let's go find a quiet spot and I'll tell you about the tournament I just came from. So I fished my first bass club tournament and my goal was to catch at least one fish, and that's exactly what I did. I would have been a lot more happy with 5 fish, but I was planning on giving away lures. If you haven't seen that video for the lure giveaway, go check that out. It's in the Bass Club 101 series also. So I got there early. I was about 30 minutes early. We started fishing at 7 o'clock. I was there about 6:30, and there was probably anywhere from 15 to 20 boats in front of me. It was a 2-lane boat ramp at a really small lake. Lake Graham in Texas is where I was at, and so we got on the water before 7, started fishing at 7. The weather was pretty bad as far as fishing goes. It was cold, it was windy, it was right at the tail end of a cold front, so that made fishing tough for everybody. I'm not exactly sure how many fish were weighed in, but I figure less than half the field caught a fish, and so I felt like I was doing pretty decent to catch one. It weighed 1.89, I believe, so it wasn't a very big one, but it was still a fish, and I was glad to have something in the live well and get to take to weigh in. I caught that fish pretty early. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll show you the spot that I caught it right here. Now the wind was blowing up against this bank, and so it was hard fighting the wind with the trolling motor and everything, but it looked like a pretty good spot to me. Now I caught it on a live target bait ball, which is basically a little umbrella rig, and it has one hook on the bottom side. I believe it has 4 minnows total, but it has one hook on the bottom minnow, and so that fish hit that, and he hit it pretty hard. But he didn't fight too much. I got him in pretty easy, and so that was the first one I put in the live well. So I was pretty excited about that. You know, you catch one around 9 o'clock and you're fishing till 3, so you think, well, I'm gonna catch 4 or 5 here. You know, I might fill the live well, and just didn't happen, man. I fished all day. You know, I was wore out. That wind beat me up. You know, I was fighting it the whole day in that lake. It's 2 lakes side by side connected with a channel, and the wind was blowing straight down those lakes, so it was pretty hard to control and you know, to control your boat. But you know, wind helps a lot of times when you're fishing, so that didn't bother me too much. But man, by the time the day was over, I was wore out. So it came time to put the boat back on the trailer, and I wanted to be there a little bit early, so I put my stuff up about 2:30, and 3 o'clock was the weigh-in time. So I had my stuff up, got the boat on the trailer, and was out about time for weigh-ins. And like I say, they weighed in quite a few fish. I think there was 2 guys that had a full live well. They had 5 fish. 13, just over 13 pounds won it. There was a big bass caught that was, I believe, 7.7, so that was a good sized bass. But there was only 2 guys that filled the limit, so the fishing was tough, but I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot. And one thing that I learned was I didn't quite know how my live well worked. I've only had this boat for 4 or 5 months, and I haven't fished any tournaments in it yet. And you know, I'd ran it when I was out here on the water, but I didn't think about the plug. And so when we got to weigh in, or when I got my boat out of the water, I was sitting there thinking, oh no, what am I gonna do? I don't have a plug, and I didn't know where the plug went or anything like that. So I had to Google it right quick. I figured out that the plug is in the back of the boat. It's on the back side of the boat, just there with your drain plug. And so what happens when you pull the boat out of the water is all your live well starts to drain. Well, the live well on this boat's 36 gallons, so I knew it wasn't going to drain out fast. So I went ahead and put the boat on the trailer. I pulled it up to a parking spot, And then what I did was I took my fishing glove off, I wadded it up, and I stuffed it in the plug hole. Well, that slowed down the water enough that it wasn't a problem at all. They got to the weigh-in pretty quick, so I had my fish in a bag in 10 minutes, so it wasn't any big deal. But that was something that I didn't think about before I went, and so that's something that I wanted to mention on here. Make sure you have a plug for your live well and you know how it works. It made me feel kind of like a goofball, but you know, there was a lot to remember and a lot to think of, and I knew I was going to miss something. That just happened to be the thing that I missed. But we improvised. We got the plug hole plugged up with a fishing glove, and everything was great. So anyway, I was super glad I went to that tournament. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to be at the next one. I'm going to try to make them all if nothing comes up and see how we do. But right now I'm about 11 pounds and something behind the leader. So we're going to have to work if we want to get back in the running for Angler of the Year. It's not something I'm expecting or anything like that. I just want to catch fish when I do go. That's my main goal. I want to learn new lakes and how to find fish fast on new lakes. So that's why I'm in this, but if I win one, man, it'd be awesome. We'll see how it goes. So I'm sorry I didn't catch 5 fish and have a bunch of spots to show you on Lake Graham. I've got the one fish, the one spot to show you. That's all I got. But hopefully the next one will be a little better. It's about 3 weeks away. I believe it's on Lake Stanford in Texas. So we'll do that one. We'll see if we can't do a little better. And hopefully I'll have a little longer video for you post-tournament. So be looking for that. And until then, go fish. Alright guys, there's my first one in the Bass Club. Caught him on that little live target umbrella rig, small rig, little swim bait. Good deal. We got one to weigh in.